Hey guys, welcome to Pellets and Pits. Hey, today we're introducing the new to the channel Lone Star Grillz pellet smoker. We got the big bad boy. We got the 20 by 42. We're gonna do a walk around. We're gonna clean it out. We're gonna season it and show you guys what it's all about. Watch this. All right, first things first, before we do a walk around, I'm just gonna open the chamber up a little bit. I'm gonna wipe it down just so it has time to air out. And then we can get to the features it comes with. So basically what I'm doing, I'm just looking for something that shouldn't be there, right? Before we turn it on, before we get going, before we season it up and all that stuff, you just want to make sure that an oh no hasn't happened. So run your hand down there. It's extremely grainy. I know it's hard to see on the gloves. I'm trying to get that stuff out because ultimately, you know, when you put your oil down there, you want your oil to stick to the metal, not for the debris. So no soap, just hot water. Kind of give it a good clean. I don't know if you can see the metal shards in there. You can see how black our water is. That's expected. Getting all those little shavings off, particles, all the stuff that you don't want. All right, she's all cleaned up, so we're gonna start from the bottom and work our way up. I actually reached out to a couple people behind the scenes and people that I kind of trust and I've talked to over the years through this YouTube process. And said, if you have a chance to pick a smoker right now, which one would it be for a pellet smoker? Unanimously, it was Lone Star Grillz. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you, Chris, because after dealing with Chris back and forth, he ultimately decided to give me the smoker for free. So I just want clarification on that. This smoker was given to me for free. The one thing they said was, no matter what options you get the bigger casters because they make this smoker roll easy. And that is no doubt about it. Man, you click this thing up right here, and it does roll like a champ. Very impressed. So glad I did that. Those are 8-inch casters. They also have the 5-inch and they also have the off-road package. Considering it's gonna be on my deck for probably 99% of the time, I didn't feel like the off-road package was fair to put on here. I'll have to just get the black shelf. They have other options, stainless steel. I just like the black on black. You guys saw me when I took the shelves out that they slide out. I think that's a great feature. Give you plenty of room to work with. They got a top shelf and a bottom shelf. We have the charcoal assembly basket, which basically means you got a huge steel style contraption. The steel grates put over an eye bar, allows that oxygen to come through, and you can use this on your pellet smoker as well. There's instructions how to do it. We can get to that on down the line. Definitely wanted the plancha, especially for the Flat Top King. We definitely are excited about to use this because it's just another way to use a griddle. Really quick note, this is the shelf that goes in on your bottom shelf, and this will support your plancha. I am going to wipe these off just like I did the inside of the smoker, and I'll actually put on my oven and season them. I didn't really think it's worth the video. We all know how to do cast iron at this time. Basically put in the oven 400, 450 with a good oil, high heat oil, and just let that steel season itself. Probably overkill, that would be my guess, but you know, when you get something like this, you want it to last forever. So if I could do the right things right now, I think it's worth it. We got the upgrade brass fitting. A lot of people recommended that. Your grease trap sits up here, and then that will allow the grease to flow, and then you just close it off, and then you're good to go. And then right over here is your fire pot. This is where your pellets would dump out. All right, down here we got a burn pot. The leftover ash, it's really easy to take out. It latches on both edges. You got a hole here and a hole here, and it just latches in. This is where your ashes will build up. You'd clean this out a lot of times, probably like every time you use it, but it's really easy to get to. So I kind of like that feature. Dealing with pellet smokers as much as I have in the past, I really like the convenience of this right here. Look on the back side, it's got a pellet dump. You just raise it up and your pellet should fall out of your pellet hopper. A lot of the videos I've seen with these, this lid right here completely comes off. It looks like he's upgraded a little bit to a hinge idea. I really like that. It's got a gasket seal around it. A 40-pound hopper. It's a big son of a gun, I can tell you that. One thing that intrigued me when I started looking around at these pellet smokers, no doubt about it, 100% no doubt about it, was the ability to add wood chips to your pellets for extra smoke flavor. We're definitely going to get to that down the road, but that's probably the most, or the easiest selling factor that I had to incorporate that goodness into a pellet smoker. I think it's going to close the gap of the offsets versus pellet smoking. I'm not saying it's going to beat it. I'm saying the gap is closing, and with the convenience, that's just a part of the pros. This is a fireboard, but it's one of the best digital components on the market today. We're going to get through this process when we start doing our seasoning. I can get to that in more depth. You can almost have a whole video just dedicated to how to run this. And last but not least, you got your chute over here. It's designed to stay open, so if you have this outdoors and you're worried about rain coming through there, obviously you can close it, but while it's in operation, you want to keep your flute open. I opted to get the pull bar. With me moving around my deck as much as I do want to, that was a no-brainer. The whole system comes put together 100%. The only thing that you have to put on is 4 bolts in this stack right here, and with the pull bar is actually welded into the stack. So you get this one unit. It's got a seal gasket around the edge. You put your bolts in and you're done. Came to the house extremely well built, packaged, everything like that. You got tool holders here just in case you need it. And that, my friends, is a quick walkthrough on the Lone Star Grillz pellet smoker. All right, it doesn't take long. The smoker is dried out. I'm just gonna fill the hopper about halfway with pellets. We got B&B pellets today. Some videos out there have you wiping down the door. In the manual, it says do not wipe down the door because they're worried about the oils running down and ruin the gasket seal. So I'm only going to touch the door a little bit with the residual leftover oils that we use inside there. So you really need to pay attention to your instruction manual. Sorry, I'm sick as a dog. When you season it, you do not want to spray these oils on the outside of your smoker, okay? The whole point of seasoning this is to cure the paint that comes on it. It's a high heat paint. Once again, pay attention to the manual. You don't want to go over 250 in temperature. The reason is because you can flake and damage your paint, right? So when you're spraying these oils, you don't want to get these oils on the outside of your pellet smoker. So I'm going to be spraying inside, wiping it off the residual. I'm going to spray the guts of the pellet smoker away from the grill instead of holding it up like this and spraying to have all that residual spray go against it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use duck fat if I run out of it. I'm just going to use avocado oil. We use it a lot in our griddle cooking, but duck fat's going to be the thing of choice for me. And really, it's just as simple as it seems. You're basically just spraying it and lubricating all the inside, getting very, you don't have to get really liberal, but you do want to get a good coating. Spraying all that raw metal. And you don't have to be perfect with the sprays because there's so much spray in there. Once you start wiping it down, you're basically going to be just rotating the oils around, spreading it around, and getting all the nooks and crannies. So we're going to start there and see what happens. This is probably overkill again, but after I wipe down the door, I'm just going to go ahead with a dry cloth, paper towel, and just go ahead and wipe it down again, just to try to get all the residual oils off of it. No drippage, very dry. So I'll move the grates outside because obviously I don't want the extra oils to be on my deck either. I get enough oils on my deck as it is. Light spray. One trick I can give you is don't spray it head on. Get a good angle and you can actually see where you spray, just like that. Turning your grate up and going like this, a lot of that residual spray will go straight down and you use less oils.
All right, extremely easy to use. You just press the power button, press knob to ignite.
All right, we just turned the pellet smoker on. Like I said, we can get back into the electronics like in a whole new video. There's so much information there, it's mind-blowing. So this is what we're gonna do. I've got it set on 185. I'm gonna let it roll for the first hour just to make sure everything's kosher, everything's good. I'm gonna hit the 6-hour mark on seasoning. I think it's more of a personal preference than it is an absolute science. So I'm gonna do 185. then 200 the next hour, and then 225, and cruise at 225 all the way to the end, maybe somewhere through there. So in an hour we'll come back and crank up that dial. We've been rocking that hour, so now I'm just going to take it up to about 200, leave it for another hour. Like anything in life, when you got a game plan that doesn't work your way, what else do you do? I tried to put my plancha in the oven. It didn't work. Didn't work. Too big for the oven, for my oven. So we'll have to find another way to season it. But that we will. So it's been 2 hours. We're at 200. And now basically for the last part, I'm going to turn up to 225. You don't want to exceed the 250 mark. So with the plus and minuses of the tip swings, that gets you right in that sweet spot. Some things to note before this video kind of like winds down. Some really great features and why the passion was behind to start looking at this option. First of all, this fireboard controller is absolutely amazing. We're going to dive deep into that as the series goes on. I was blown away the capabilities, especially just coming from like your typical backyard style pellet smokers. Second of all, I don't know if you guys see when we put it together, that one little piece, it covers like where the flame comes up, and now you can open flame on this. That was an option that my pit boss had, the ability to be able to reverse sear, come out here, cook some burgers. Now we got the plancha. I love that open flame technology. The size of it is one, it's bigger than most that I've ever had. It's the 42 inch, but the fire pot is on the right side. Instead of being right in the middle, the fire pot's over here, which to me gives it a really great offset feature, because now that your fire is here, you have a lot of real estate to play with instead of everything being right in the middle, and you're kind of forced to either go the aftermarket route and get like a piece of equipment to diffuse the flame, or you just have your hot spots and you deal with it. Being able to cook up here on your top grate as it slides out is really nice. We've hit that 6 hour mark. I've just turned everything off. It's doing its cool down mode. Really quickly before we sign off, I just wanted to basically just say how proud I am of the unit. If you guys know the channel, obviously I did my time in the Navy. I was a cook in the Navy. So being the fact that that's American-made product with American-made electronics, it just really just fits who I am. Extremely proud. I might not show it because of the sickness, but smiling ear to ear was something that I did for days after I received it. Texted and pictured and you name it, I did it with all my friends. Just super pumped about it. We're going to see how it goes. I've kind of put it up on a pedestal because it's everything that I want out of this smoker. Like we talked about, it's got the open flame technology, the burner set off the right side, you got plenty of space, plus you got the extra shelf. One thing I did not mention, which I think should be mentioned, which is another reason why, once I did all my research, it came up, and once I really dove into like why, then it just made me want it even more. You can adjust the auger speed. So when you turn your smoker on to 250, it's going to automatically go to a presetting. There's a way to go in that fireboard, which while we mentioned earlier, you can almost have a whole video on that. You can adjust your auger speed. So now you take that temperature control off, and you can, let's say, you can set it at 75%, and it's going to feed those pellets at 75% and burn at a hotter rate continuously. So that means when you reverse sear something, or you want to sear a good burger or something like that, you don't have to worry about the fluctuation of temperatures. So if your smoker hits 300 or 400 degrees, well, it's not going to feed pellets because it's already hit that temperature, right? With the auger, adjusting the auger, once you hit that 400, it's just going to keep blazing and blazing and blazing and blazing. I think that's really incredible. So with that being said, that's it for the video. I know it's a long one, but you know what? When it comes to a piece of equipment like that, I think a lot of things need to be said, a lot of things need to be looked at. I'm glad we did the long seasoning. I just took the extra time, my personal self. And then we'll be able to play with pellets. I've already bought the wood chips from Lone Star Grillz, so we'll be incorporating them into the mix for our first few cooks. I kind of view our channel a little bit different. I think we can create some dang good food off the smoker that might change your mind about having one or being on the fence.
It's not just for championship barbecue.
That's exactly right.
For everyday meals.
That's exactly right. It's the fun that you can have with it while incorporating great flavor. All right, guys, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends. Peace. Cheers to the first cook. I can't wait. Any guesses what it's going to be?